Atlanta, Valley Sports South, and Valley Sports Southeast. The heart of the fan.
Florida weather can turn on a dime, and so can a team's fortunes. After a heartbreak in Milwaukee, the Sunshine State's been the Braves' tonic against the Marlins with thunderous bats. Bombs away for the Braves, another homer. Lightning quick defense. Dansby to his left, 360 spin. What a play by Swanson. And cool breezes have the Braves riding an eastern high. We've got clear skies today as young stars Ian Anderson and Sandy Alcantara face off. A winning road trip and a series sweep are all on the line today. The forecast? Great baseball. It's coming your way next on Valley Sports. From Miami, it's time for Braves baseball, presented by Truist. At long last, the road trip comes to a close. A chance for the Braves to sweep the Marlins and head home with a 4-2 journey here on the banks of the Miccosukee Canal. Hi again, everybody. Chip Carey, Brian Jordan, Jeff Rancourt. It's been an interesting road trip, to say the least. The Braves have gotten healthy here in Miami, Jeff, and maybe those magical, mystical waters here in Miami have been the trick for the Atlanta offense. They've hit 8 home runs on this road trip.
Well, they've usually helped the Braves down here in Miami,
Yes.
and so far the offense finally is starting to get going. Ronald Acuna, I think we all knew would be just fine, but these three with Marcell, Ozzie, and Adam Duvall were big pieces for this offense moving forward. We started to see them swing the bats better, and in a key moment where you look at the schedule, very favorable for the Braves, these bats guys need to heat up. They've done it, and it's the reason the Braves have won the first 2 games down here in Miami.
BJ, run scoring is very important in a big league game. So is run prevention. How about the Atlanta defense?
Wow, at home they struggled, but when they got on the road, I don't know whether they worked all the time with Ron Washington, but this defense stepped up on the road. Dansby Swanson has been phenomenal, making play after play last night. An awesome play that, to me, really saved the game. And this guy, Austin Riley, continues to improve, making great decisions in the catching. These guys have thrown out runners. They've been blocking the ball really well. So pitching, defense always win, and we're starting to see that, Chip.
So as Doc Brown said in Major League, it's all starting to come together, boys, and hopefully Atlanta can finish up the road trip behind Ian Anderson, who had a magnificent changeup at the start of this road trip up in Milwaukee. Paul Bird will break that down for us as we continue from Lone Depot Park. It's the Braves and Marlins, a Sunday finale next.
Local Ford dealer. Delta Airlines. Keep climbing. And by Truist. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
Welcome back, everybody. Braves in Miami. They've won game 1. They've won game 2, so they got a chance to sweep today. Ian Anderson on the hill. We always feel good when he's out there. Why is he so good? Well, the changeup, hold like this, the four-seamer like this, he scoots it over. Very, very difficult pitch to master. Not a lot of... Sorry, guys, the umpires are walking out. Ian Anderson's pitch usage, as you can see right here, changeup 31% of the time, that great batting average. 196 off that. His teammates in SNIT had to talk about why it was so good.
It looks just like his four-seam, same arm speed, same arm slot. He does a really good job of recreating just the same look for 2 different pitches, and it's super successful for him.
Well, I'm significantly older than him. I still haven't figured out how to throw a good one. So, yeah, I think he's just gifted to throw it out of the same arm slot, same arm speed. Takes a bunch of spin off it, and there's not too many straight changes like that in the league anymore.
I think for the best way I can think of, it's just like his fastball.
Okay.
And that's what makes a good changeup, because when you think a fastball's coming, but it's same spin as a fastball, same arm speed, and it just kind of floats out of his hand.
It's a really good pitch. I mean, guys know that it's one of his weapons, and You know, he's got great arm action with it. I mean, I think early in the year there wasn't a big differential in his fastball and his change, and that's, you know, he's got his fastball has come around, and that's added to the effectiveness of his changeup because of that.
I love live TV. I just got interrupted by these umpires. I know those guys, they owe me a few pitches today. Ian Anderson on the hill in Miami. There's no place better that you want to be than watching this game. The young pitcher is phenomenal. Braves offense starting to heat up a little bit. And let's not forget, there's a chance for a sweep.
Landmark Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi, unbeatable internet, only from Xfinity. And by Georgia Natural Gas. Live the greener life.
Well, Braves country, that's how BJ got to the ballpark today. Took a spin on his 30-foot yacht here in Miami for the wrap-up of the road trip in the series. It's been a great finish to the road trip so far for Atlanta. A chance to sweep away the Marlins, whom we will see back at Truist Park this coming weekend at the end of the upcoming homestand. As Jeff and Brian just mentioned a moment ago, everything's starting to come together. The pitching has been outstanding on the road trip. The offense coming to life. Defensively, they've gotten the job done, and we're not for a wild pitcher. So, quite frankly, guys, they could have a chance for a 5-1 road trip entering play today.
I got to get this off my chest first. What time does a 140 game start anymore? Is it just me?
You're sounding more and more like my dad. You're sounding like my dad more and more every day.
I'm just curious. It's 1:41. Means we're not getting ready. But besides that, we got a chance to sweep today and head home with a 4-2 road trip.
But they'll have a tough opponent. Sandy Alcantara's on the mound for the Marlins. But Atlanta's not intimidated by that. Home runs in the series, the Braves have hit 5 of them. This would be a good chance for Atlanta, or a great opportunity, guys, to put one on the board against Alcantara, who's never given one up to Atlanta in his career.
And it's been very successful against the Braves. So I'm looking for that matchup today and see if the power bats can continue against Alcantara. 34 strikeouts in 8 starts, 2-1 with a 2.20 ERA against the Braves. So,
are you seeing this?
Yes. Look at how Alcantara's warming up.
I wonder if Birdie's got a chance to look. He's warming up from 58 feet.
And he doesn't need that kind of help.
No, he's already good enough. Look, he's got a big fastball. He's got a really good changeup and a curveball. It's what reason he's the Marlins ace, one of the best young pitchers in the game.
You know, the great thing about him, he has 4 different pitches, and he almost throws them exactly the same percentage. So as a hitter, you're sitting up there, you don't know what's coming at you.
Well, what's coming at him is a suddenly hot Atlanta offense. The Braves looking for a 3-game winning streak. And again, Ronald Acuna Jr. atop the Toyota starting lineup. Matt Olson, Marcell Ozuna's had a big series. Travis d'Arnaud loves hitting in this ballpark. And again, they'll have their hands full with Sandy Alcantara, who's 3-2 on the year. Birdie, we've never seen a starting pitcher warm up the way Alcantara did before first pitch today.
Great catch, guys. Normally when you warm up behind the mound, you're looking at throwing the ball down because you have to get out. You have an incline. You have to really reach over and extend. When you warm up in front of the mound, like you just saw right there, look for the ball up today because you don't have that decline. You don't have that incline that you're throwing behind, so you're going to let it go late and high.
So Ronald Acuna Jr. will be the first man up for the Braves, the Atlanta designated hitter. Ronald has scored 8 runs in his last 7 games. He has not played a field here in Miami. With the artificial turf, we'll see if Ronald's back in the lineup in right against the Phillies at home tomorrow night. Alcantara begins his day with a swing and a miss, and we are underway here at Lone Depot Park. Alcantara misses upstairs. That one collarbone high. Ronald has been red hot. He's reached base in 28 straight games. That ties him for first with Paul Goldschmidt of the Cardinals for the longest active on base streak in the big leagues. And this one hit high in the air, deep left field. Acuna to the warning track, and that's hauled in by De La Cruz. And a close call for Ronald. He just missed a leadoff homer. 1 out.
And the 4 keys today as we move here along in the first is going to be hit the heater for the Braves. Offensively, You know Alcantara's coming early. You don't want to get to that changeup, BJ. You got a chance to get a sweep for the first time this year. It'll help move the Braves in the right direction they need going home for a big 7 games.
Matt Olson digs in against Alcantara and takes inside. 1 ball, no strikes. Matt with 4 homers, 15 RBIs, 16 doubles. And looking for his second hit of this series. It's 2-0. As we've said a couple of times on the road trip, the Braves in a stretch of 29 straight games against sub-500 teams. They've won the first 2 of those against the Marlins. Phillies and Miami next up on the homestand. The pitch. It's 2-1.
One thing you can bank off of Alcantara if you're Miami is he's going to give you 6-7 every time he gets out on a mound. He's been that consistent all season long.
Popped up left side. That should be a can of corn for Brian Anderson, and at the cut of the outfield grass squeezes that. Match retired. 2 up, 2 down. Marcell Ozuna's coming up.
Well, that's the thing. As good as his stuff he has in strikeout, he pitches to contact. So you'll see him, like you said, 100 pitches in the 7th or 8th inning, which is a huge break for a bullpen.
This will be a fun matchup. You always want to do well against the guy for whom you were traded. Alcantara was a former Cardinal farmhand. St. Louis traded him to the Marlins to bring in Marcell Ozuna a few years ago.
I would say both of them really got a good deal. Ozuna played well in St. Louis, but this guy here.
Another pop-up over by the Braves dugout. That one curling to the warning track, and Aguilar is there. He reaches over and says hi to Sal Fasano, and Alcantara a 1-2-3 top half of the first inning. Ian Anderson goes to work when we come back. Score, a look at Don Mattingly's starting lineup. A miraculous recovery for Jazz Chisholm. Boy, it looked like he really injured his knee last night in the late innings, but he's back atop their starting lineup presented by Toyota. Aguilar got to find a way to get out Garrett Cooper. He's had another big series against the Braves with 4 hits, but who better to do that than Ian Anderson, who pitched really well in Milwaukee and frankly, guys, deserved a much better fate.
Yeah, it was terrific. I mean, that changeup was so nasty in Milwaukee, and that's why Paul Bird talked about that changeup in some of the players. When he has that with great command, he could be dominant.
And one thing you saw with those numbers at the bottom, it's been so good on the road, which has been a huge key at times when you lose a couple, having a guy that can stop the losing streak. And here today, a chance to, it's going to have to pitch some zeros with Alcantara on the other side.
Jazz Chisholm leads off, and that's off the glove of d'Arnaud outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Chisholm got spiked last night on a defensive play at the second base bag in the 9th inning with the Marlins down to their last out, legged out an infield hit and made his way to third base, where he was left standing after Jorge Soler struck out to end the game by Kenley Jansen. So Chisholm good enough to go today in the series wrap up before they head over to Tampa Bay for a Sunshine State matchup with the Rays. The pitch from Anderson is low, ball 3. Don't want to put this guy on with a walk. Braves play him as a pull hitter. Austin Riley is the man in the shift in shallow right. And a late called strike from Junior Valentine, who's got the plate today. 3-1 the count. And that one taken too high. Jazz Chisholm walks to start the game for the Marlins.
And that pitch right there, Ian Anderson has to command that 4-seam fastball to set up that changeup. And that first batter there, it seems like he didn't have that command he needed with that fastball.
In seasons past, Ian, I think, has had a little trouble in the first inning. I think this year, guys, he's done a much better job of controlling opening inning damage. But let's face it, last night Kyle Wright had to throw 30 pitches in the first inning. Charlie Morton in the first game had a lot of pitches in the game early on. But the Braves bullpen in a state of flux. You'd like Ian to pitch economically today.
These first two games, the Marlins have had some chances now, and these Braves pitchers have made pitches when they've needed to. But you don't want to continue to make it hard on yourself, because eventually you get the feeling someone will get a timely hit.
Well, it's not Jesus Aguilar batting second with Chisholm at first in the Marlins opening inning. Atlanta plays him as a dead pull hitter on the infield. Anderson ready, and a breaking ball whacked foul. 0-2. That pitch was up in the zone, and Aguilar did nothing with it.
And it's just amazing how you can pull all the guys over on that left side. And Aguilar's such a good hitter, man. He gets his hands in. He hits the ball to right field. I just don't get those analytics.
Now Ozzie shifts to the first base side of the second base bag. 0-2 count. And that one is golfed down the third base line on an 0-2 pitch. Jazz Chisholm on his way to third. Aguilar with an excuse me double. And Miami's in business with nobody out. How did he hit that ball?
It's a good contact hitter, like BJ said, and he kind of just reached out. I mean, that's not a horrible pitch at all. No. Sometimes you tip your hat, and that's one of those scenarios there where you see it happen to be in the perfect spot.
It just happened to be a changeup with that speed, which allows you to put the ball in play, make some contact. And when things are going good for you, they're going good for you.
And this is the scenario I think you guys were talking about a moment ago. You've got the hottest hitter against the Braves, Garrett Cooper, up in the first inning with 2 on and nobody out. Braves have not solved this guy. He's 4 for 5 in the series. And he had a healthy cut there into the second deck foul. Strike 1 for Garrett Cooper.
We've talked before, BJ. I know you're the same way. There's 1 or 2 teams in your career. It didn't matter how cold you were when you knew they were coming to town and you were going to them. You were excited because you just saw them.
Yeah, your confidence just jumps.
Yeah.
The Braves have held the Marlins to 2 for 20 at the plate with runners in scoring position. Here's their first crack at it today. Cooper fouls it away. 0-2. Hey, great catch by a young fan off to our right in the lower bowl. Don Mattingly appreciates good glove work. He's the Marlins skipper.
I know we talk about Aguilar fighting and putting the ball in play. This guy yesterday hit that double down the line off of Jansen, getting his hands in on a nasty cutter.
So I was talking to Kenley this morning. He said more than that, though. He was mad about the walk. He said, look, the way I pitch, I know I'm going to give up some jam shots. I'm accustomed to it. But he said for me to walk that hitter, that's what hurt.
But the Braves held on to win the game and the series. Now try to sweep as a shot hammered to left. That will send Ozuna back a step or so. Jazz Chisholm will tag and score. Garrett Cooper with a productive out gives Miami an early lead.
107 off the bat. Thank God it was right at Marcel.
So the leadoff walk comes home to roost. Aguilar in scoring position. 1 in, 1 out. And Avisail Garcia is the hitter. And to your point, as good as Ian is, if he can limit the damage here in the first inning, it makes a comeback a lot more probable against a very tough opposing pitcher, Sandy Alcantara. Got us in order in the first inning. Here's Garcia. The Braves play him to pull. And a little low. 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, and those 8 starts, Alcantara, 45 innings pitched, only 11 earned runs in that time by the Braves. Wow.
It's a 2.20 ERA, so if you can keep it at 1, you like your chances. 1 ball, no strikes. In the air to right. That's going to be playable for Travis Demerit. Aguilar will not advance. Anderson a good job to get Garcia to fly out to right. Now runner at second, 2 outs.
Yeah, you limit to 1 run here, and we've seen Ian do that before. It's a great job, and you turn it over and give your offense a chance to go out there.
So it's Anderson versus Anderson here in the first inning. Brian is 2 for 7 in the series and is hitting .253 on the year.
Only 5 RBIs so far this year. That's surprising, especially hitting in the middle of this lineup.
And 2 of those RBIs have come on 2 home runs. And he couldn't make his mind up on that pitch. Good start to the sequence. 0-1 your count.
Get the feeling the way he went after that first pitch that he was sitting on a changeup to drive, because that was 93 right down the middle, and you saw kind of the late check swing.
Big lead at second for Aguilar. 1 ball, 1 strike. And he fouled that straight back. Ian's got a good fastball today. 94. Let's see if he can finish him off. Here's where, again, you think changeup.
Even that swing right there, he had the changeup in the back of his mind, and he throws that 93 again down the middle. He was late swinging, but he was able to foul it off. I would go up the ladder with that 93-94.
The pitch. Lifted into shallow center and right into the shift. Ozzie will drift back. By and large, that was an outstanding job by Ian Anderson. Second and third, nobody out, and the Marlins get just 1 run. So to the second we go. Miami has an early lead. Travis d'Arnaud will lead off for the Braves. You heard BJ mention how good the catching has been for Atlanta. With that in mind, here's our Zaxby's indescribably good play.
Good to see d'Arnaud start to swing the bat again, because he was struggling a little bit, but having a really good series here in Miami. Look at the average, 351. That OPS is off the charts, but he continues to get it done, not just catching but hitting a long ball.
Now you combine him and Contreras last night, 3 home runs for the catching duo for Atlanta in these first 2 games here.
No balls and a strike from Alcantara, and d'Arnaud off his knuckles foul. It's quickly 0-2. Second start for Travis in the series. He went 2 for 3 with a home run in the opener. Braves brought out the booming bats in a 5-3 series opening win. Swanson, d'Arnaud, and Marcell Ozuna all went deep here in South Florida. William Contreras had 2 homers for the Braves last night. This one on the ground, hit to Jazz Chisholm. He'll take his sweet time to take care of the Braves catcher for out number 1.
And as a hitter, Jeff, facing Alcantara, I mean, you can't sit on a pitch because he throws so many different pitches, you know, at the same rate. You got movement all over the place. How do you hit a guy like this?
Yeah, well, it reminds me of a little bit in the fact of, like, when you face Roy Halladay, and even if you get a 2-0 count, that sinker, you know, that he throws is heavy. It's not like a 2-0 where you just go to get it. He's got so many weapons. He's got such downhill movement. The ball's heavy.
He enjoys a 1-0 lead with Ozzie Albies up. And Ozzie didn't get that. It's an even count.
And you know, a guy like him, you got all the information in the world coming at you as a hitter, but you look at him and you say he throws the 4-seamer 29%, sinker 21, slider 23, and changeup 25. So what do you do as a hitter?
That's where almost sometimes with a guy like this, like Corbin Burns the other day, you go back to just simplify. You know what he's going to do to you.
Right.
Try to find a good pitch and put a good swing on it.
1-2 count. In a way, he's kind of DeGrom-like in this regard. He's such a good pitcher, but gets so little offensive support. In 4 of his 8 starts this year, the Marlins have not scored a run while he's in the game.
It's tough.
He got one in the first to lead today. And Ozzie didn't get that. A swing and a miss. Boy, that's easy cheese, isn't it? 5 up, 5 down for Alcantara. 2 outs. Austin Riley's been pressing a bit. Since moved him down to the number 6 spot on the lineup card today.
Well, last time Snit did that, he got 3 hits. He delivered.
Riley hitless in this series. And 3 hits up in Milwaukee, including a home run. This one slowly hit up the middle, right at the second base bag. Chisholm makes the play. 6 up, 6 down for Alcantara. He and the Marlins enjoy an early lead. 1-0 your score. Jeff Francoeur, Brian Jordan, Paul Bird. Chip Terry with you here in Miami. Braves trying to put a bow on a 4-2 road trip and sweep away the Fighting Fish. Ian Anderson out for his 2nd inning of work. Leadoff walk came home to be recorded as our first run of the day. This is Jesus Sanchez leading off the 2nd. De La Cruz and Gonzalez will follow him. Great job by Ian. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out in the opening inning. All he did was give up 1 run.
I've seen him do that so many times, get traffic and find a way to get out of a situation like that. Well done.
No shift for Sanchez. Foul that away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
First, Ian probably tell you when you're facing a guy like Alcantara on the other side, you know you have to keep this game close to give your offense a chance, whether he makes a mistake or you some point you get to that pen. Got to keep him in it.
Yeah, that's why I'm quite sure he was so frustrated on that leadoff walk.
Yeah.
To Chisholm.
We've seen Sanchez have some trouble with off-speed stuff in this series, haven't we?
Yeah, off speed, and then what happens is when you do see a fastball like that, you want to go on it, and the Braves have done a good job of getting that fastball the top part of the zone against them. Can't catch up.
Good try right there. Going up in the zone and in.
You said it last inning, Chip. He's got a good heater right now.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Sanchez batting with the bases empty. And at the knees, strike 3. Sanchez knew that. Ian Anderson has his first punch out of the game. Good start to the 2nd. 1 out.
That's where, as a hitter, left-handed hitter, you're sitting there saying, like, I know he got a nasty changeup. He's coming with the changeup. And you got no chances of swinging that fastball in.
Well, it's a great job pitching him backwards.
Yep.
As you said, he's seen nothing but off speed, so he's got to figure, okay, they got to go to that curveball or changeup, and you paint 94 low and in.
And how about Sanchez? Before that ball even hit the glove of Darno, he was smiling and nodding his head. Yeah, you got me. Here's Brian De La Cruz, and there's another shot that is foul at 3rd base. Well, they're peppering that left field line early on today.
That was close.
It was.
That was actually fair from up here for a second.
Did it go over the bag fair? Ooh, that was close. So a strike to Brian De La Cruz. Oh, and 2.
It's another young player coming up for these guys. De La Cruz. I like his approach. He's aggressive. Every ball he's hit this series seems to be hard at somebody.
Well, that's the, I guess, last hole for the Marlins. Got to get their offense going. They were next to last in runs, batting average last year. in the major leagues. Brought in Avisaíl Garcia to try to boost that. Soler, of course, as well. De La Cruz getting a lot of playing time with Sanchez. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Ian. He used that man's aggressiveness as a big weapon. 2 outs.
Well, he went in, and now all of a sudden you throw that four-seamer way up, and that he never had a chance to catch up to that pitch.
So, Bertie, how about Ian Anderson after the leadoff walk? He looks like a new man.
No, I love it, and I love it how you guys have talked about him pitching backwards. Guys sit changeup now, so he likes to throw that fastball late. There's your first pitch curve. Snit even talking about the improvement of the velocity on his changeup and dropped an effective velocity of his fastball because of that, and his changeup has gotten better as well.
On the ground, hit toward Dansby. Got a top spin roller, and that'll take care of Eric Gonzalez. Nice recovery for Ian Anderson, who has a 1-2-3 second of his own.
Sunday, presented by your local Hyundai dealers.
Joe Dunnan will take over for the Marlins at second base. Jazz Chisholm unable to continue after 2 frames. He walked and scored the game's first run. Dunnan was just brought in from Jacksonville today. Played 20 games with the Jumbo Shrimp. Tell you more about him when he comes up in the Marlins third. In the Braves third, lower third coming up. Dansby Swanson, Adam Duvall, and Travis Demeritte versus Sandy Alcantara, who's coming off a 8-inning performance against the Nationals that saw him retire the last 20 batters he faced. He's gotten the first 6 today. And this one popped up right side. Aguilar and foul ground will have plenty of rooms. Think about that. 27 up, 27 down, the last 27 hitters Alcantara has faced.
Perfect game.
Let's see if Duvall can break that up. Adam is 2 for 7 in the series. But as Jeff was talking about in our opening comments, one of these Braves hitters starting slowly but surely to gain some offensive traction.
Yeah, it's good to see Duvall start to be more aggressive early in the count. But he continues to hit with runners in scoring position, up over 350.
To me, that's the most amazing stat about Adam Duvall. The splits of him hitting with runners on base, Brian and Jeff, as opposed to when there's nobody aboard like we have here in the third.
Yeah, look at him right now at the bat. Look at how choked up he is.
One ball, one strike. What does that lead you to believe he's trying to accomplish here?
He's trying to get the head out on that sinker if it comes in, giving himself a little more time.
Yeah, and it looks like he's trying to shorten his swing up a little bit. When you face a tough guy like him, see that long ball's going to be tough to hit. You just want to drive him in the gap if you can.
One ball, 2 strikes. Base is empty for Duvall. 1 away in the third inning. Alcantara goes back to work. In the air toward right center. Sanchez and Garcia. It'll be Avisaíl Garcia for the second out. Travis Demeritte's coming up, but first a quick message from Zaxby's.
It's the new Signature Club with bacon and cheese, remixed by Zaxby's.
Well, Travis is what, 0 for his last 26?
Yeah, he is struggling. He needs a hit in a bad way.
This is where baseball always gets you. You got a guy who's retired 28 in a row. So you know what's going to happen here.
He's going to rope a line drive somewhere.
Darn right, he's getting a knock. This is
where the old game of baseball, you struggling this bad and you got the speed that he has. Look at that third baseman playing back so far.
Problem is Alcantara's tough to bunt against.
Oh yeah, that's true too. You got to guess right on that changeup.
don't get that two-seamer running in there at 98.
The 0-2 pitch. And DeMera didn't get that sinking out of sight. Second strikeout for Alcantara. He's got a third consecutive 1-2-3 inning, and more importantly, a 1-0 lead. Been terrific on the road.
Yeah, we talk about how good he has been on the road, and you see that against the NL East. Not a lot of run support at the same time, but under 3 ERA. And off to a good start today. You take away the first 2 batters of the game, he's pitched outstanding.
Jacob Stallings, the Marlins catcher, leads off the 3rd inning. Then Joe Dunand batting for Jazz Chisholm. As this one is down the right field line and fair, headed into the corner. Jacob Stallings is on his way to second. And that snaps a streak of 6 straight hitters retired. The Marlins have their second hit, second double of the game, and look to extend a 1-0 lead.
The jump hit and gets pitched on the outer corner and doesn't try to pull it and just shoots it the other way. The reason, you know, perfect guy for them. Bats 9th in the lineup. He's there for defense and anything they get out of him offensively, but there he's able to jumpstart the Marlins in the 3rd.
So I just like seeing guys go up there with that aggressive mentality. I mean, he's throwing a lot of fastballs for strikes early in the count. Take your chances.
So Joe Dunand, a hometown kid, hit a home run in his first big league at bat.
It's pretty nice.
It is.
Had a double too. His uncle is Alex Rodriguez. So Joe Dunand, 51st overall pick in the draft by the Marlins back in 2017. What a thrill, Jeff. You know all about that. You get drafted, developed, brought to the big leagues by your hometown club.
Look, you get any opportunity, you go out there, and BJ, you know it, you keep hitting, they're going to find a position for you at some point, somewhere.
Yeah, he's only 695 home runs away from his uncle. Man.
0-2 pitch.
He's right on his heels.
1-2 the count.
It's a pretty big goal.
Joe played college ball at NC State. Now facing Ian Anderson and the world champs. And with a 1-2 count. That ball is rifled. That does remind you of A-Rod, that bat on the inner half, doesn't it?
I was about to change that number of home runs. Man, he wrote that ball.
Got a little bit of the setup A-Rod does too to start.
I'll fly right side. Olsen won't have a play. And Ian Anderson still with a 1-2 count on Joe Dunand, who took over for Jazz Chisholm, who started the game, played 2 innings, and couldn't continue. We don't know the exact reason why, but we can speculate his knee was bothering him last night.
I'm surprised with an early day game today. This guy, you just think give him the start and give Jazz a day game to rest.
Wish he would have, because he's the only man to score so far today. The pitch is high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Braves today are looking for a 3-game winning streak before we head home for the Phillies and Marlins starting tomorrow. This one lifted shallowly toward left. Ozuna broke back, now comes in and calls off Dansby for out number 1. There's a good result. No advance of the runner. Dunand hit it a mile high, but he's retired, and Aguilar's coming up.
Good change up there after a couple fastballs. Got him out front. Lazy fly ball. And something we saw Kyle Wright and Charlie Morton do the last couple days. Get a guy on second with no outs and not let him move him over.
Miami now 2 for 23 with runners in scoring position in the series.
After hitting that long foul ball, I don't think he was trying to get him over.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
He had other things in mind.
Aguilar, a seeing eye double down the left field line on an 0-2 pitch. It was a good pitch from Ian. And Aguilar didn't get that. No balls and a strike. A 1 pitch. One thing you know about Aguilar, he has a good time on the baseball field.
He does. And a lot of times he set pitchers up right here. Through 2 off-speed pitches. Look like he just tricked them on both pitches. Come back with that, he'll line it somewhere.
Crosses shoe tops, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Had a funny moment with Aguilar last year. A seeing eye ground ball past him at first base. He took his glove off and threw it at the ball. Always talking to the catcher, the umpires, looking out at the pitcher. Has fun with the opposing infielders. The 1-2. In on his hands, missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
They've gone in hard now twice, so that curveball slider away is the pitch to go. But as you said, BJ, it's got to be a good one down in the zone, because last time you saw he was able to reach across and poke it for a double.
And off speed gets Aguilar to swing and miss. After the leadoff double, 2 are out in still a 1-0 game. Great job by Anderson.
And that's the frustrating part about it. You think you're setting them up, you're waiting for that curveball, you get it, and you still miss it. Oh my, they just have fun. Unbelievable.
They're not afraid to talk back with Aguilar, are they?
No.
I don't think he's either.
No. So here's Cooper. He delivered a sacrifice fly in the first inning. As Jeff said, it was barreled. And it played at the game's only run. You got a base open if you want to pitch this guy carefully. I would. Let's see what Ian does. And nowhere close, ball 1.
It's just such a comfortable at-bat for Garrett right now against the Braves. Just looks so relaxed. Seeing it very, very well.
That was called a strike on the check swing, even count. Cooper serving as the designated hitter for Miami today. Now 15 RBIs on the season. And softly hit to right. Travis is there. Ian Anderson, more fantastic work. Leadoff double. The Marlins can't take advantage, and the top of the order's up for the Braves in a 1-0 Miami game. Feature of the game, anytime Ronald Acuna Jr. comes up, that's worth pointing out in a 1-0 game. Let's see what he can do against Alcantara in his second at bat, fellas.
Yeah, he's done great work against him. Reached, they say, playing 11 of the 12 games. Had 9 extra base hits, done plenty of damage, and scored 16 runs in 12 games.
And they need him to get on base and get the energy going in this offense.
Something.
He flied out to start the game, and I thought he hit it a little harder than it ended up being.
Just got in on him a little bit, I think.
Drilled deep left field, at the track, at the wall. That ball is off the top of the wall. Acuna on his way to second. He's got a leadoff double. If that ball is 3 feet to the right, it's in the bullpen. So he ambushes Alcantara. That snaps 29 up, 29 down for the Miami right-hander, and Acuna leads off with a two-base hit.
Well, and that's the whole thing. You only get to that pitch, BJ, if you're cheating a little bit.
Right.
You're getting ready for that first pitch fastball and selling out, and that's what I love that he did. Against a guy like that, I'm going to take a chance, and he got rewarded with a double.
And that's what I love about him. He goes up there every at-bat looking for that first pitch.
Absolutely.
To swing at.
So one reason why the Braves offense has been a lot better after that first game in Milwaukee, they've put the ball in play. Here's an example of what you need from Matt Olson. Get Acuna to third at the very least here. Matt popped out in his first trip to the plate. And he does exactly what he should do. Perfect execution. Olson a productive out. Ronald 90 feet away with one out.
I love to see it. It's a lost art. You had a productive at bat against a tough pitcher like this, and you set your next guy in the lineup with a chance to get a sac fly or a ground ball and tie this thing up.
Well, we saw Marcell go the other way for that RBI hit. Hopefully he can keep that same mindset. Don't try to hit a home run here. Just drive the ball the other way.
They're going to bring the infield in now. Looking for that rollover ground ball in the sinker. That's where you got as a hitter. You got to know right here he's trying to come in hard on me. I got to see that ball out over the plate.
And a late called strike. Something leaks out over the middle of the plate. Marcel's got a lot of room on the right side to work with. Acuna, the tying run, 90 feet away with one out. On the ground, and Dunand will make the peg to first in time. So the infield in takes away an RBI from Ozuna. And now it'll take a two-out hit from Travis d'Arnaud if the Braves are to break even.
To me, you just got to do a better job of getting your hands in. I mean, it's a tough pitch. You know the sinker's coming.
They threw him cutter first pitch.
Yeah.
And then came back hard in and got the out.
Well, the right guy's up at the right time for the Braves. Travis d'Arnaud is 10 for 20 with runners in scoring position this year. You don't get a lot of chances against opposing aces. Let's see if Atlanta can cash this one in with two outs. And on the ground to second, Dunand is there, and Alcantara gets out of it. A double and three straight ground outs to second. Miami still holds a 1-0 lead. Anderson rolls into the fourth inning. It's 1-0 Miami. With Ian's good start in mind, let's check out our Stats with Lowe's feature. Braves pitching has been outstanding of late on this road trip.
Yeah, it looks like they're starting to fall into place. I mean, every starter has been phenomenal, especially on this road trip. Giving this offense a chance to win, giving this team a chance to win.
Man, you've been looking for that fifth starter, and who knows? Tucker Davidson had one good start. You'll see get another chance and see if he can run with it.
Yeah, Tucker pitches tomorrow night. Zach Wheeler will open up this series for the Phillies. Sail Garcia flirts with the right field foul pole. That's out of play. Strike one. Yeah, four great pitching matchups with the Phillies starting tomorrow night. Davidson and Wheeler, Max Fried, Kyle Gibson Tuesday, Charlie Morton, Ranger Suarez Wednesday, and Kyle Wright, Aaron Nola on Thursday. Those games are 7:20 first pitch starts. Braves will start on time, Jeff.
I hope.
And
Even a minute late, I'm fine.
We'll be ready with Braves Live at 6:30 Eastern Time.
Interesting to Zach Wheeler. He's been struggling a little bit this year. Not the same guy we saw last year.
0-2 pitch. On the ground, right to Dansby. Look at him charge and fire to first. Ryan, you pointed that out the other night, how aggressively the Braves have been playing defensively.
Yeah, the one thing they don't do is sit on their heels. They attack every ground ball, and that's what Wash and those guys work on every day at the ballpark. Be aggressive.
Yeah, a lot to clap about. The Braves defensively have been really good on the road trip. They've been good so far today, and Ryan Anderson, the batter. He popped out to end the Miami first.
It's amazing this series. Really both sides pitching. How many times we've seen a leadoff double and the runner gets stranded.
One-0 pitch. And a base hit between short and third for Anderson. He's going to turn on the Jets, and he's going to roll into second base ahead of Ozuna's throw. So for the Marlins, it's their third double in the game. They haven't scored one of them yet. But Anderson's in scoring position for Jesus Sanchez.
Anderson hit this ball hard and running out of the box, knowing Ozuna does not have that strong arm.
Where Ozuna was placed too, that's a long ways to go. Anderson's speed, it should be a double.
Ian gave up a double in the second, a double in the first, a double in the third, now one here in the fourth. And Sanchez, the key man in the inning. Anderson, as you guys described, pitched him backwards and struck him out looking. Marlins 2 for 25 with runners in scoring position in this series. That tells you how well the Braves have pitched in clutch situations. The Braves have stranded a pair of runners for the Marlins so far today, but they trail 1-0 and launched back toward us. 1-1 your count. Seems to me, fellas, the teams that are having the most offensive success are the ones that have made the adjustment to, as you've suggested, shorten up and put the ball in play the other way. Well, with the deadened baseball and such, Miami has not been able to do much of that. 1-1 pitch. And out of play, 1-2. Great catch.
They've done a great job of working Sanchez up in the zone. You see every one of them, he either misses, fouls off, he's under it. The one place we've seen him be able to hit the ball this series is kind of that down and in off speed pitch. Like anything away here is what you want.
Long look in by Ian. He's got the sign he likes. Anderson leads at second. The pitch.
It's like he's still a tick off of that fastball, bat speed wise.
Well, I think one thing they've done a good job is because of all the curveballs he's seen, he's a little cognizant of it, and so he's just a tick late on the fastball.
One ball, two strikes. And a swing and a miss. Ian Anderson carves up Sanchez. Anderson now with 4 strikeouts in the game. Now there are 2 outs. He is something else, isn't he?
That's probably the best sequence I've seen Ian have today. Really set him up. This next guy too last time did a great job of in and then hard away for a swing and miss. Young hitters like this, you can take advantage with the off-speed pitches that Ian has.
That caught the inside corner. It's a strike. For Brian De La Cruz, originally an Astros farmhand. Ian checks and delivers downstairs. Miami got De La Cruz at the deadline for Yimi Garcia. And as we've said a couple of times in the series, this has been the problem for Miami the last couple of years. A lack of consistent offensive production. The Braves have held them down with runners at second and third this entire series. The pitch. Right there, he took it. It's 1-2.
Took a low changeup call for a strike, and now he takes that fastball on the corner. I don't know what you're looking for. Got to come back with that changeup lower than low here.
Bopped him up. Ozzie Albies will scamper in, and Ian Anderson works his magic once again, this time in the fourth inning. The Marlins strand another man in scoring position after 4. Fun. Here's some of the fun we talked about. That's a major collision at second base, what do you say?
Big guy versus little guy.
It's twice as much as them.
Oh, these guys have so much fun, man. Latin players on the Braves dugout. Oh, they always chirping at Aguilar at first base.
If you stand next to Ozzie Albies, he's not the tallest guy, but he's a big, strong kid for his size.
He's no match for that, though,
No,
Chip.
that's tall
half
order.
the size.
Ozzie struck out in his first trip to the plate. Braves have one hit. That was the Acuna double leading off the fourth, but Alcantara got out of trouble. And he was given a first inning run, a leadoff walk, double, and sac fly. That's a serious case of whiplash right there, isn't it?
Oh, my goodness.
Fly ball center. Sanchez on the run, slowing on the track, and he dropped it. Ozzie didn't see he dropped it. Then the ball got kicked toward left field, and he'll turn on the Jets and stand at third base. What a huge break.
Looked like that ball just kept running away from Sanchez with some serious spin on it.
It was hit good, but like you said, Sanchez had a beat on it, and I think we're going to see the replay here, man. I think, honestly, he just hit off his glove. He gator-armed it.
We talked about that dead ball, though. Always just dropping down with a little spin going away from the outfielders here.
That's going to be an error, though. That's a play as an outfielder, BJ, you know you got to make.
Yeah, that's a long run, though.
Yeah, but when you're right there camped out. And good job by Ozzie, because it looked like he had caught it at first.
Hopefully this is the break that the Braves needed.
A three-base error. On the ground and foul. Riley tried to give the Marlins a taste of their own medicine. So the last two leadoff hitters have reached for the Braves. Acuna with a double in the fourth inning. Albies a three-base error. And nobody out in a 1-0 game.
That's still a tough error. That's a long way to run. I know,
yeah,
you got to catch that.
You know what? It was almost like he ran so far, then he thought the hard part's done, and he forgot to catch the ball.
Yeah. Alcantara is just so good in these situations. He is just burying them with sinkers. And like you said, Jeff, sometimes you want to cheat. You know the sinker's coming. Back up a little bit and try to drive the ball the other way.
We could use whatever Travis d'Arnaud did last inning. Do it right now.
Yeah, exactly. Hit the ball on the ground to the left side. You might get a run out of it. The pitch. Not to be. Riley strikes out. So there's the first out of the 5th inning. 3rd strikeout for Alcantara.
Surprise. I thought they might bring the infield in again. You can see Donnie thinking about it. Yeah, and they're going to now. Which right here, if you're Dansby, you watched how they pitched Marcell Ozuna. They went cutter away first pitch. Try to get, maybe if you catch him cheating, you know.
Right.
See if he does the same here with him or if he goes directly to that sinker in.
Now, the last time the Braves had a man at third base, Ronald Acuna was up. They didn't come on contact. You got Ozzie there now. If Dansby's able to put this ball in play, will they send him here?
Yeah, I think you take that chance. You know, Acuna, if he was 100% and you knew it, yeah, you send him.
Oh, 1 pitch. Little pop behind first. Long run Aguilar. Still coming. That ball's going to drop. And the Braves get a blue pit and tie the game. If you put it in play, you've got a chance. And Dansby Swanson gets it tied with a little bleeder down the first base line. It's a 1-1 game.
Look, as a guy at the plate right there, you know, BJ, he's pounding you in, you in. And good job by Dansby. First at bat, he tried to pull it. This time, look, he almost just sold out to get blown up.
Yeah,
and there's so much room on the right because of the shift.
Yep. Terrific at bat there, keeping his hands in. But we always talk about it, going up there with a plan.
Yeah.
You know, and it looked like he had a plan after taking his chances on that first pitch.
So the Braves get to Alcantara with the first run of their day in the 5th inning. 1-1 score. Now Duvall the batter. I'd love to see the same approach right here. They give him the whole right side of the infield.
Alcantara knows this Braves team, they're running, they're stealing bases.
Dansby's 5 out of 5 in steals. Duvall again chokes up in his 2nd trip to the plate. He popped out in the Atlanta 3rd. 1-1 game. He's running. Good jump. From the knees, the Stallings throw is too high, and Dansby goes and steals second base.
I mean, I love it. I love the aggressiveness by these guys. They get on first base, they are ready to go.
No, look, there's plenty of games where you feel like you're going to score 7, 8 runs. Right here, you know, if you get another chance now, great jump by Dansby. You have 2 chances now for a bleeder, anything to give you a 2-1 lead.
Strong throw by Stallings, but it sailed high, and Swanson's in scoring position with 1 out, 1 in. Duvall the batter, 1-0 count to him.
See, now you got 2-0. You have taken that pitch in. So if you're Duvall, whether it's that sinker or cutter, you know it's going to be something in the 90s, and you're hoping out over the plate, sell out. I think hard up the middle right here.
Good lead at second. Alcantara checks and delivers. Almost hit him. 3-0. Alcantara at one point retired 29 straight hitters over his start today and his previous one against the Nationals. Acuna doubled in the 4th. A critical 3-base error and a blue pit has tied the game for Atlanta here in the 5th.
With first base open, you know you got a guy that drives in runs with runners in scoring position. Why not walk him? Or make your toughest pitches, as we saw here. Adam Duvall's done a great job of taking that sinker in.
Well, he made him throw a strike. 3-0. Now it's a 3-1 count. And time called.
I think here, Jeff, you got to look for that hard sinker in again.
Yeah.
You know?
And this is where I told you, like Ronald when he cheated a little bit that time. Get started early here. Worst case, you hit a foul ball over by Washington at third base. Good eye.
It's ball 4 low. Indeed, a good eye for Adam Duvall. That's the first walk for Alcantara. 3rd base runner of the inning now for the Braves. And if ever again there's a time for Travis to have some good luck, this would be it, fellas.
And what it also does is with one out, unless you hit a double play ball here, you will see Ronald Acuna get a chance with someone in scoring position. A lot of the reason Alcantara is mad at himself for walking Duvall.
And with Travis' speed, he's a tough guy to double up.
Yeah, unless it's a bullet.
5 ground outs, 3 strikeouts for Alcantara in the game. Braves trying to break a 1-1 tie. And that missed inside. Good take. 1 ball, no strikes.
That's the same pitch right there to Acuna that he cheated in on.
Yep.
All of a sudden, Alcantara, who was getting ahead of everyone, isn't.
Perfect hitting count right here.
Turned it loose, didn't get it. 2 balls and a strike.
Right here, same thing. Even though it's 2-1, I'm getting started a little bit early. You know he's coming in with it.
Huge lead at second for Swanson. Now time called. Travis needs to adjust the gloves. Here it is.
That's the exact same spot.
Trying to figure out why he is struggling so bad. It looks like he is late with his load. Got to load a little early and get those hands through the zone quicker.
The 2-2. And fouled at the plate.
They threw the cutter on that pitch.
Good job by Travis just to get lumber on that baseball and keep the at bat alive. Braves and Marlins wearing the camouflage caps. Military Appreciation Weekend. Armed Forces Day yesterday. The pitch. Did he go? Yeah, I think they're going to ring him up at the plate. And Demerit, looking back, can't believe that he was just rung up for strike 3. He was. And that's the second out of the inning. And now Acuna is going to stand in.
Yes, he did.
Close enough, yeah. And that's where it's hard. He had a 2-0 count, and he got 2 good fastballs to hit, and after that, Alcantara went with 2 cutters, and it's when it becomes a really tough AB.
So Acuna has fly deep to left. He's doubled. Runners at first and second, 2 outs for him. Let's see how the Marlins right-hander approaches this sequence. You know how well Ronald has destroyed Marlins pitching. And power against power. Acuna swings and misses. 0-1.
He came right back with that same pitch.
Good pitchers do that. It's interesting they have the outfield shaded to right field on Acuna.
Good stop by Stallings for an even count. They do have the luxury of a base open. That base happens to be third base if Alcantara falls too far behind Acuna. And Matt waits on deck. He'd love a chance to bat here in the 5th inning. Ronald, the 6th hitter to face Alcantara in the frame. 1-1 game. The Braves cash in a 3-base error. And Alcantara and Stallings can't get together.
I think Alcantara right here, even though he got him last time, I think he still wants to come hard in with that fastball. He does not want to let him get extended.
Looked like he pulled out the pitch calm out of his hat.
And see the bat boy coming out.
Yeah. That's interesting. I wonder if the battery went dead.
And I'll bet you that's exactly what's being talked about. They don't want to be charged a mound visit because of a mechanical failure or a dead battery.
Well, change your battery.
Well, that's a first this year. Talked about the new pitch calm.
So the meeting breaks up. Alcantara has a new hearing system, and he'll face Ronald with a 1-1 count.
So they're going to continue to work him in. Now you might be able to get him away. I think they worry about the extension that he's able to get if they make a mistake away.
The 2-1.
What a changeup there at 91.
Yeah. That's 3 changeups.
Yeah.
You throw Ronald a fastball at your own peril. If you miss location, it'll get loud here in Miami. Duvall at first, Swanson at second. The pitch. On the ground, slowly hit. Oh, diving stop Aguilar. That's all he'll be able to do. And Atlanta's got him loaded. If that sneaks through, you might have an Atlanta lead. Great play by Aguilar to keep the ball on the infield turf and keep the game tied. But it's an infield hit.
Great play to keep that at the same time. If he would have been able to turn around, he had Ronald at first base. Watch Alcantara go cover. He just thought second was his only play.
But with Ronald's speed also, he probably just assumed he had no chances. And how about that at bat right there? I mean, putting the ball in play. That's what we talk about with 2 strikes. Ronald did that, gets a hit out of it.
So that play preserves the tie for the moment. And now it's time for Matt Olson to break out of it. That is 0 for 2. And bats with the bases loaded in a tie game. First pitch swing on the ground, and the peg to first is in time. The Braves cash in a 3-base error. Dansby Swanson with a blue hit makes it 1-1 midway through. Aces in the series wrap-up. Stream out-of-market regular season games live or on demand, plus MLB Big Inning and select pregame and postgame coverage. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for all the details. So Ian Anderson back in the game. We're tied 1-1. Eric Gonzalez will lead off. Jacob Stallings and then Dunand for the Marlins. Jazz Chisholm started, walked, scored in the first, but had to leave in the second inning. Ian Anderson has pitched a great game in this regard. He's had traffic, fellas. He's had lots of men in scoring position, but has only given up the 1 run. He could use an easy inning. He has 1-1-2-3 frame. That was in the second. And a nice grab down to our right.
One-hand snag. I like it.
And the alternate Marlins uniforms that they sported here last night. It's fouled back. It's 2-2 for Gonzalez. Miguel Rojas is their everyday shortstop. You might recall Rojas had to leave a game in this series with some calf problems. He might be available to pinch hit if need be, but Anderson blows away Gonzalez. Good start to his 5th inning. Ian has his 5th strikeout. Ian's pitching great. He's given up just 10 earned runs, making 11 earned runs in his last 7 starts, counting the run he gave up in the first inning today.
Yeah, I was hoping that long inning wouldn't affect him coming back out. He threw 2 balls, change-ups down in the dirt. I was a little worried, but he bounced back really good.
Jacob Stallings doubled to lead off the 3rd inning. The Marlins left him stranded. Miami is 2 for 27 with runners in scoring position in the series. And Ian makes quick work of the number 9 hitter. 2 outs and back to the top of the order. Boy, it'd be great to get a quick inning, get Alcantara back on that mound after he had to face 7 men in the 5th. So Joe Dunand, whose big league debut came May 7th against San Diego, hit a home run. He popped out in his first trip. It was a critical at bat. Runner at second, nobody out. He couldn't advance the runner, and Anderson wiggled out of trouble in that inning. Miami has 3 hits on the day, all of them doubles. The only run scored on a leadoff walk. This one on a short hop, and Ozzie couldn't pick a bounce he wanted. It trickles into shallow center field, and the inning will continue with Jesus Aguilar.
Man, that had some serious spin on it, and what hit that dirt, it kind of just short-armed Ozzie. Watch this.
Yeah, he was in between. Either you're going to commit and try to catch that ball in the air, or you got to take a couple steps back. What they call a tweener.
Yep. You know, we talk all the time about hitters and fielders reading the baseball and the sound off the bat. In a dome stadium, does the ball sound differently on a play like that? Because it looked like it was a scorcher off the bat. Obviously, it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, to some extent, I think those guys see enough, you know, balls coming at them, especially in the infield, to have a good sense. I just think with the spin, I think Ozzie thought it was going to really short hop him, and those are tough ones, though.
So it scored an infield hit for Dunand.
You can't practice those.
No. Even with the wizardry of Ron Washington with a fungo bat. So the inning continues for the Braves right-hander in a tie game. And it's an even count. Aguilar hit a pitcher's pitch down the left field line on a 2-strike count in the 1st inning. With that in mind, look at where Riley's playing him. He does not want to repeat. There's the Braves defense. And now the 2-1. 2-2.
He is having trouble laying off that pitch right now. And if I'm Ian, I go right back to it. Keep it down in the zone. Worst case, you get a ground ball.
See Aguilar move up in the box.
Something you don't see too often.
But that's what I'm talking about, making adjustments. If a guy's just burying you with that curveball, take it away from him.
They can beat you with the fastball.
Yep.
So a 3-2 count. Dunand will be off with the pitch with 2 outs. There he goes. And strike 3 right down Peachtree takes care of Aguilar and the Marlins in the 5th. Ian Anderson pitching a masterpiece. He has struck out 6 through 5. He's tied with Alcantara and the Marlins in Game 3. It's a 1-1 score. Marcell Ozuna is set to go for the Braves in the 6th inning. He'll get his 3rd look at Sandy Alcantara. Remember, Marcell was traded for the Marlins right-hander years ago. He's had a good road trip. He's hitting for power. And we could use a little more of that power here in the series wrap-up. Here's a look at Marcell's numbers. Our Yellowwood bringing the lumber feature.
Good to see him starting to get his confidence back on that inside fastball. Like you said, Chip, on the road, 3 home runs. Hopefully he can continue to heat up.
That one's driven down the right field line. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Long run for Avisail Garcia. The Braves have a couple of blue pits, but they will gladly take them. And again, guys, they've got the leadoff man on for the 3rd straight inning.
Well, another guy with an approach, if he's going to pound that 2-seamer in, you got to try to swing through it and go the other way. So he gets that pitch. And a lot of times, look, those are the hits you're going to get. We saw Garrett Cooper off Kenley Jansen last night get a bloop the other way. If they're going to blow you up inside, that's the way to beat it. Unless you're just going to big time cheat and try to get the head out.
And not many people can do that.
No, we saw Acuna do it, and he's pretty much been the only guy that's been able to do that today.
Cano's played Pepper to second twice in the game, so looking for his first hit. Our game is as even as can be. 1-1. Braves and Fish each with 4 hits. Both starters have pitched a beautiful game. Can Atlanta break through and sweep the Marlins? That's what's at stake here in the middle to late innings.
Even after that long 5th inning, only 62 pitches coming into this inning. Alcantara.
One-oh pitch. Last time the Braves were in Miami was mid-August last year. They swept that series. That was part of that perfect road trip, if memory serves. Baltimore, Washington, Miami, that propelled the Braves to the top of the division. Braves scored 25 runs in those 3 games. Runs have been tough to come by in this series. And certainly today for Brian Snitker and Don Mattingly, the opposing skippers. 2 balls and a strike. Very short lead by Ozuna. The pitch. That's got to frustrate you as a hitter. You know what he's going to do. It's pitch after pitch, and there's no defense.
The hardest thing is that's a ball, and you know you get the pitch you're looking for, but it runs so much you end up swinging at it, and instead of being 3-1, you got 2-2.
Ozuna's running and fouled away. Like it, struggling to score runs, put him in play. Braves have been running a lot more in the last couple of weeks. As Brian said, Dansby Swanson 6 out of 6 in steals. Acuna's 8 for 8. Ozuna's 2 for 2.
Yeah, we've seen Ozuna steal his first 2 back since 2019 this year.
I think Raleigh is 2 for 2 also.
We've lost the element of surprise now, though.
Yeah.
Shorter lead. Not going. And another foul ball.
Both pitchers here still got the ability to go deep in the game. Alcantara 69 pitches only here in the 6th.
Travis making him work here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. People forget about Marcell Ozuna. I did too. He used to play center field down here.
Oh yeah,
that's right. He's a Gold Glove center fielder too.
1 in 17.
Yeah.
Good lead. He's going. Pitch is low. Stallings' throw is going to be right on the money. And Ozuna is out on the base pass for the first time. That was a perfect throw from Jacob Stallings.
Well,
one out.
Yeah, what you were hoping there was for action. You wanted Travis d'Arnaud to put that ball in play. And good job taking. It was a slider away. So,
man, how quick did that ball come out of Stallings' hand? This is exactly why they got him. Calls a great game, but Wow, he will throw you out real quick.
So a full count with one out. Alcantara back to the windup. And his pitch is fouled straight back. That's something Don Mattingly talked about with the Marlins when we saw them the first time this year. How Stallings makes all the difference with this staff. We know what a difference d'Arnaud has made with the Atlanta pitching staff. He certainly helped them offensively. He'd love to do it here. And he will with a base on balls. Isn't that funny how it works?
Never fails.
Yeah, right.
So the second walk. Ozzie Albies is the hitter.
I think Aguilar's asking d'Arnaud, you going to steal too? Go ahead.
I mean, Alcantara will walk you if you let him.
Love to see Ozzie get out on one of these pitches and hook it down that right field line.
He's the only Brave to score. That was on that drive to left center that Sanchez tried to track down. He dropped it. It turned into an error. And Albies later scored on Dansby's bloop single. There's the Marlins defense. No balls and a strike. Lifted softly toward left. De La Cruz long run. Anderson there in foul ground. He'll make the catch. And Ozzie's retired on a pop-up. 2 away for Austin Riley. Braves have left 4 men on base. They left him loaded after scoring the game-tying run in the 5th. d'Arnaud at first here with 2 outs, and Austin Riley has grounded out and struck out today. He's overdue to split a gap. Ball 1.
He was kind of quiet, and then in Milwaukee had that big 3-run homer off Burns. Maybe he gets a pitch up in the zone here that he can handle. As you said, either split the gap or send one out.
Fouled away at the plate. A ball and 2 strikes.
Starting to throw a lot more changeups now to these right-handed hitters after a heavy dose of those 2-seamers.
Guys that can mix their pattern second, third time through the order are real tough rides. That's been the case today. The pitch. And Riley didn't get that. Alcantara works around a leadoff single, and he picks up his 5th strikeout. 3, 4, and 5 coming up for Miami. Tie game, middle of the 6th inning.
Our Discover matchup, you see today's starting pitcher, and Brian Snitker said before the game and earlier, we don't have a next off day until June 6th. I'd love to see our starting pitchers go deep into the game, give our Braves bullpen a little bit of help, and the guys that come out of the pen have to be crisp.
And they have been, Paul, both starters and relievers alike. Both the starting staff and bullpen core with sub-3 ERAs on this road trip.
Wow, BJ, if you're Ian Anderson, you're getting that call. I stay right back down there.
I'm telling you, man.
That ball was 6 inches low. And against Cooper, you'll take what you can get.
He's been a tough out, the 0-1 pitch. And he swung at that ball in the dirt. 0-2.
And that does it right there. After call low strike, all of a sudden you're swinging at a bad pitch.
You got him in swing mode now. If you're Ian, throw something off the plate low. You got a good chance to get a swing and miss.
Cooper has the Marlins RBI on a sacrifice fly, the 0-2. Didn't chase it that time. A ball and 2 strikes. Good crowd here in Miami today. Biggest of the series.
Look at those numbers versus the Braves. 345.
I told you, pull out the old Kevin Costner, stand behind the plate and say fastball's coming, see if it messes him up. No shift for Cooper with 2 strikes, bases empty. The pitch.
That just happened to Buddy text me. The Cardinals won 18-4. Yadi Molina pitched the 9th inning for the Cardinals.
Did he?
1 run, gave up 4. Or sorry, 1 inning, gave up 4 runs.
Robert Pujols just pitched.
That's why I'm laughing. They did it both in wins too.
So after 0-2, Anderson's nibbled and runs it full for Garrett Cooper. Garcia and Anderson to follow here in the 6th inning. 1-1 game. Braves trying to finish off a sweep. And he lost it. Anderson will be upset about that. Changeup bounced a couple of feet in front of the plate. So that is his 2nd walk. The first one led off the game and scored the first Miami run.
Hate to see that. Go 0-2 and you lose them.
Now you just had a couple of very non-competitive pitches.
Right.
You let Cooper back in the count.
Oh, and Ian's spitting nails right now. Did you see that? Went to the rosin bag.
Yeah, that's
slammed it down.
He knew he had him. Now see if he can come back at a ground ball here.
The Braves play Garcia as a pull hitter. 3 defenders on the left side. Garcia today is flied out to right and has bounced out to Dansby Swanson at short. Took a shot at right field and skies that into the upper deck. And an even count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Braves have the Phillies next. The Marlins play the Rays. The 1-1 is low and away. Ball 2.
Play the Rays here. They go to.
They are at Tampa Bay. They start a 3-city trip at Tampa Bay. Then 3 in Atlanta. Then they go to Colorado. Ooh. Two-one pitch. Back in the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. In fact, the next 2 road trips for the Marlins are 3-city journeys. They play a lot of games in the first half away from home. They're hoping that first half unfavorable schedule will benefit them in the second half. Marlins have some work to do. They are 17-22, 8.5 games behind the first place Mets. Not because they've played poorly in the East. The Marlins have won 10 of their first 15 games against divisional opponents. Atlanta's trying to dent that a little bit here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. On the ground, that is slowly hit. Riley, fair ball. He'll flip to first in time. Productive out for Garcia. Cooper at second with 1 out.
Great play by Riley here, man. You get so used to him making that play right now. Didn't barehanded. He used his glove. He knows the runner, but he gets rid of it so quick, all in one motion.
And he had to. Got Garcia by a step. Good play.
So again, the bugaboo for the Marlins in this series is this situation. Miami at the moment 2 for 27 with a runner in scoring position. Anderson left Aguilar in scoring position in the first. He doubled and was left stranded in the fourth. Anderson is pitching great on the road trip with minimal run support. Braves lost 1-0 in the road trip opener against the Brewers. A wild pitch determined that game. Here a leadoff walk is the only run he's allowed. Fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Those are some fancy baseball spikes. Ronald Acuna Jr. sporting those. Military Appreciation Weekend in Miami. The 1-1. Line drive left field. That's in for a hit. Cooper is around third. They're going to send him. Ozuna's throw is going to be cut off. So 2 leadoff walks in the game have cost Ian Anderson dearly. Anderson picks up his second hit of the game and breaks a 1-1 tie. And the way that the leadoff walk happened is what really hurts.
He wanted a little bit higher than that. And good read here. And of course, you knew they were going to be going aggressive at third. And as you said, that leadoff walk is what Anderson's going to be most mad at himself for.
He had Cooper 0-2 and lost him. So a base hit scores him. Anderson with his 6th RBI, his 2nd of the series. And Miami's back in front for Jesus Sanchez.
See the first base coach over there with Anderson. We talk about him having only 5 RBIs so far this year. Very excited about that RBI.
Keith Johnson's the Marlins first base coach. Stretch and peg to first. Looking ahead to the 7th inning, the lower thirds coming up for the Braves. Dansby Swanson, Adam Duvall, Travis Demeritte. A very well pitched major league game. One ball, 1 strike, and again to first. Ian's paying a lot of attention to Brian Anderson over there.
I know coming into this ball game, Snit was hoping the starters go 7 innings. We just talked about 72 pitches after 5. He's struggling this inning, though. The pitch count is going up.
Does a great job there of locking him up on the inside corner again.
One ball, 2 strikes. Anderson trying to get this game through 6. Hands on knees for Anderson at first. Little pop toward third. Riley will drift back. He'll have plenty of room. And that's the 2nd out. And De La Cruz, the batter, he's 0 for 2.
Good pitch.
He just keeps making them, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Like I said, this inning's done fine. That leadoff walk's what has killed him this inning, but altogether he's thrown another great start so far. And get one more here, and you've done your job, kept your team right in this ball game.
De La Cruz struck out in the second, popped out to end the Marlins' fourth. High hopper Riley had that played perfectly, and look at that throw, a laser across, and Ian Anderson recovers to retire the side, but Miami has cashed in 2 leadoff walks, and that's the difference in game 3. 4-game series starting at Truist Park. That series is built by the Home Depot. On Thursday, the first 15,000 fans will get a Freeze bobblehead presented by Racetrack. Get your tickets at Braves.com/promos. So we're down a run. We are in the 7th inning. Swanson, Duvall, and Demerit 7, 8, 9 versus Alcantara, who's been economical. He's yet to throw 80 pitches. He's had a little stress in each of the last 3 frames. The Braves have gotten just 1 run. And right there on the corner, it's 0-2.
I see 2 changeups in a row to start Dansby off.
And 3 pitches retires the Braves shortstop. 2 strikeouts in a row for Alcantara. 6 in total, and that's how the 7th inning starts. Let's enjoy a quick message from Delta.
Delta, proud to be the official airline of the 2021 World Champion Atlanta Braves.
We'll be in the clouds in just a little while, heading back to Atlanta after this road trip finale in Miami. Hopefully, it'll be a happy flight. The Braves are only down 1. With Adam Duvall up, he walked his last time up. And a roller foul, strike 1.
4 changeups in a row, and you can see now he's really here in the 7th inning, kind of just emptying the tank.
Yeah.
He sees the finish line at 5th inning, the 1 inning where he really kind of ran that pitch count up.
Well, it says a lot about him, always making adjustments. That's why he is just so tough.
It tells you how the game has really changed, and it's not a criticism. We know the analytics say that 3rd time, 4th time through the lineup is usually not a good idea, especially in a close game like this. First, the 1-1 pitch to Adam Duvall is rolled foul. Something popped up in my mailbox today. In 1966, the Major League Baseball complete game leaders. Sandy Koufax had 27. Bob Gibson had 25. "21 men had 11 complete games or more." As this one slowly hit to short, and the peg to first is just in time, and there's the second out. I don't think we'll have 27 complete games throughout Major League Baseball this year.
No, it's a lost art for sure. But I think Alcantara is showing you can do it, you know, by making adjustments the 3rd time around. Just as you think you're getting used to his sinker in, he's going to throw changeups.
Yeah,
get you out in front.
Agreed. And I think the other thing is you look at it now too. With some of the dominant back-end bullpen guys. You know, back in the day, Sandy Koufax was better than that bullpen guy.
Well, that's it. In the old days, and again, it's said with respect, the guys that pitched in relief were not good enough to start.
But then you didn't mind those guys throwing 130 pitches, 140 pitches. Bob Gibson, you give him the ball, he's not coming out.
So, but I guarantee if you had a Mariano Rivera down there, he'd have came out. You know what I'm saying, though? I mean, it's true.
On the ground again to short. Alcantara breezes through the Atlanta 7th. It is time for the stretch presented by Synovus. It's a good ball game in Miami. 2-1 is your score. Braves and Marlins fighting late. Lauren, take it away back in Atlanta. To the bottom of the 7th, let's check out our T-Mobile coverage cam. If you like changeups, this is the game for you. Ian Anderson and Sandy Alcantara have had masterful control with that pitch.
Two of the better changeups in the game. Alcantara with the big two-seamer in, Anderson with more of the high fastball, but that changeup does both things and really makes it tough on these hitters for both teams today.
And so Paul Bird, Ian Anderson has gotten through 6 innings. Just the 2 walks have come home to score against him. And interestingly enough, he's going out for the 7th. What do you think about that?
I absolutely love it. Yes, it's okay to throw 100 pitches in the big leagues as a starter. I love the way he's working today. Let's remember, Ian isn't always the most efficient pitcher. He's good at getting out of jams, but hitters have a tendency to hit a lot of foul balls. So I love that he's going out there with Matzik and some others down right now. It's really nice to give some of those guys a rest, and I'm excited to see how he can navigate and potentially get through this inning.
And it's important too, Paul. We've talked about it quite a bit. 17 games, 17 days for the Braves. Brian Snitker needs his starters to get through 7 as often as possible to take a little pressure off of that bullpen, which is without Luke Jackson, without Tyler Matzik, and has had to use guys 3 out of 4, 4 out of 5 days from time to time over the last 7 to 10.
I agree, and Chip, he even mentioned that Spencer Strider, who is very valuable out of that bullpen, throwing 100 miles an hour plus, could even at some point be a starter. So we'll see how that situation develops. But you need guys that can throw multiple innings. That's why Jackson Steven has been so valuable.
Eric Gonzalez got his hands inside the baseball, and he dumps a single into left field. And the Marlins have another leadoff man on, this time leading off the 7th. Sorry, Birdie.
No, so I think this bullpen has shaped out well. They've made some key pickups, even though guys like Matzik have gotten hurt. And it's going to be fun to see the way this develops. And you're right, no off day till June 6th.
So Miami has a leadoff man on, Jeff. Beg your pardon.
Yeah, I was going to add on that, saying, you know, kind of what we were talking about a minute ago with starters and bullpens. I think with a few of the guys maybe down or needing rest in the bullpen, the way Ian Anderson's throwing the ball, you tell yourself, I'd rather have him out there than a fresh arm right now. And I think you're still right here. Great matchup for him to get a ground ball double play.
That matchup features Jacob Stallings, their catcher. Runner goes, pitches high. The throw to second is on the money. It skips away off Ozzie and into right field. He's hurt. And Gonzalez is at third base. Where'd that ball get Ozzie? He popped to his feet after the ricochet. Good play by Demerit to read that. But the Marlins have a runner at third now and nobody out.
Oh, that's going to leave a mark right off the shin. Got a short hop from Darno. Gonzalez got a great jump.
So the infield's in for Atlanta, nobody out. And it's a rocket that almost took out the umpire. Jacob Stallings with 2 hits. And that was quick. Miami adds to their lead. It's now 3-1.
It's one of those growing moments. You give him a chance to try to get through 7. He wasn't able to do it. He hung this changeup over the zone. Good job by Stallings.
So 6+ innings, 7 hits, 3 runs so far allowed by Ian Anderson. The 2 walks were the real killers for him in the first and in the 6th leading off innings. And so the Braves trail by 2 in the 7th inning as Snit goes to the pen.
Brought to you by Kaiser Permanente and by Synovus, the bank that helps you get there.
3-1. Miami has extended their lead here in Game 3. Fans School is out this week, so come kick off your summer at Truist Park. Don't miss out on exciting matchups, giveaways, and fun this June, like Friday Night Fireworks, live music concert series in the Plaza on Saturdays. That's presented by Papa John's, and Alumni Sundays. See upcoming promotions and get your tickets for a jam-packed summer of Braves baseball at Braves.com. Joe Dunand is on for the Marlins. He took over for Jazz Chisholm. He's 1 for 2 after entering the game in the 3rd inning. And Jesse Chavez is on to pitch. Got to hold him right here. Tough part of the order. 1, 2, and 3 for the Fighting Fish. Back-to-back hits has them in front by a pair. One thing you love about Jesse, no matter the situation, no matter the opponent, he's going to throw strikes. Eight strikeouts in 4 1/3 innings for Chavez. That one is cut on late.
The ball boy is going to make a play.
Oh, and he heaves that ball deep into the first deck.
Lefty. Or he just heaved it lefty.
Yeah,
that's pretty impressive.
That's a good point.
Is he Anthony Rendon?
How about that?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
0-2 pitch. Check swing. Did that get him on the hand?
Oh, I think he went.
I think the Braves going to ask, did he swing? Snit's going to ask for help at first base. This ball hit the hand of Dunand. He's coming up shaking the wrist. If you offer it that pitch, you are charged a foul ball, not a hit batsman.
That's a tough break for Chavez. Had him head in the count. No, he did not swing, though. But he did get those hands right into the ball.
He wanted to.
Yeah.
So now you got a tough situation. 2 on, nobody out. Aguilar the batter. And that's outside. 1 ball, no strikes. We will see the Marlins next weekend in Atlanta. That will be a big difference next year when the new schedule comes out. Only 12 games against opponents in your division, not 19. So I think it'll be very rare to see back-to-back home weekend series with a divisional rival next year. This one whacked into right field. Demerit's going to play that on a hop. And Miami has him loaded with nobody out. This one's beginning to spiral out of control. 3 singles and a hit batsman in the inning. Miami's lead is 3-1.
Well, you said Chavez is going to throw a lot of strikes. These guys are not missing them.
No, and this is the middle of this order right here. Good approach by Aguilar.
Is that the Conor McGregor strut from Aguilar at first base?
No, he's throwing that back at Contreras when Contreras hits his home runs. You tell these guys watch the Braves play, that's for sure.
So now you've got to face Garrett Cooper with the bases loaded and nobody out. Cooper's got an RBI, a run scored. He's 0 for 1.
Time.
That's the
Ian
same.
Anderson got ahead of him 0-2 and then put him on.
That was the same pitch right there. Aguilar drove to right field, starting away and coming right across the edge of the plate.
You guys mentioned every player seemingly has a team that they can do no wrong against. BJ, who is that for you?
For me, it was the Braves. You know, amazingly so. I mean, when Avery was there, I mean, I love hitting against Avery, but I love hitting against the Braves, period.
Swing and a miss. Cooper's retired. Good pitch. There's the first out. Base is still loaded. Jeff, how about you?
The Marlins, I played great down here in Florida. I liked it. Good pitch here. Found someone that can get Cooper out. big right here. So you can get a ground ball or something here and keep this within 2 runs, like you said. Whereas the Marlins are looking for the knockout punch if they're able to get a base hit.
Garcia 0 for 3 today. Drives that toward right. Demerit on the run. He's going to make the catch, tagging at third. And coming home to score is Stallings. Miami extends the lead. It's 4-1.
When it's going bad, Jeff, it's going bad.
Travis, not that he would have had a chance to throw him out at home, but he thought there was 2 outs right there.
Wow, makes the catch. He looks it in his glove and he's jogging off the field. That's when you're taking your slump out to the outfield with you.
Like I said, the only thing that you liked about that for the break, it wasn't going to cost you. He was going to score anyways. Glad he didn't toss the ball in the stands.
Yeah. That's happened before.
I know.
So a long inning for the Marlins in the 7th. 3 singles, a hit batsman, a sac fly. They've scored twice. They lead 4-1. So the line for Ian Anderson will look a whole lot worse than the way he pitched. 4 runs in 6 innings. As this one's hit to Demerit and right, and he'll make that catch, and that will retire the side. Miami sends 7 to the plate. 2 more score. They extend their lead 4-1 as we head to the 8th inning. Ronald Jr. coming up. Welcome to Hyundai Sunday. It's the Braves and Marlins from Lone Depot Park. Roof has been closed this entire series. Miami just raised it with a 2-run 7th. Now Ronald Acuna Jr. will stand in. Ronald has 2 more hits in today's game. Alcantara back to work for the 8th. He's got 88 pitches. Has not had a whole lot of stress.
The hope here is you get a couple of these guys on early, maybe get to the pen and give your middle bats a chance to do something.
He does not look like he's lost a thing.
No, I mean, this is what you want out of your ace every time he gets down on the mound. Being economic, trusting his stuff, making adjustments as the game goes on.
Well, like I said, I can't remember the last time he's thrown a fastball now. I mean, he's going changeup cutter to all these hitters. And the hard part is these hitters now haven't grained. Look, he's still got 97. So tough.
Right over the outside corner. There was a heater. 2 balls, 2 strikes. From a hitter's perspective, is that the way the game's changed the most? The majority of pitches now being off speed instead of fastballs?
Quality off speed, too. That's the tough thing.
And Ronald swings and misses. And that's out number 1. 7 strikeouts for Alcantara as the Braves begin the 8th inning. Let's enjoy a quick message from Academy Sports and Outdoors.
With our free in-store assembly and pre-assembled grills and smokers, buy online at academy.com and pick up in-store. So keep those grilling plans at Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Matt Olson, the hitter. That came up in a big spot. Bases loaded, 2 outs in the 5th inning and grounded out. That was the inning where the Braves got their lone run after a 3-base error. Dansby Swanson with a base hit. That's had a tough road trip.
Yes, he has. And the Braves had some opportunities against Alcantara. Just couldn't deliver.
Left a runner at 3rd base in the 4th inning. Good sequence for Matt. He did his job. He got Ronald to 3rd with a ground out. Then 2 more ground outs followed. Atlanta couldn't score that frame. And as we said at the time, when you face an ace, you get a chance. You've got to cash it in because they don't give up too many.
One thing I've noticed with Matt, too, is he's usually so quiet at the plate. And he starts off right here, but there's a lot of quick movement.
Yeah, at the beginning of the year when he got off to a hot start, he was very slow and he could see every pitch where he didn't swing in a bad pitch.
Everything's
now
kind of sped up right now.
Right now he's just he's in between.
The 2-2 pitch is popped up into the shift. Two men down. And it's up to Marcel if the Braves are to continue here in the 8th inning. He singled in the 6th inning and was thrown out trying to steal with Travis d'Arnaud at the plate. 99 pitches for Alcantara. 103 is his season high. That was in 5 2/3 innings. He's put together back-to-back terrific starts for the Marlins. 8 innings against the Nats. He's not away from going 8 against the world champs on his home mound today. Seven strikeouts is a season high. And the thing that jumps out at me when you look at him pitch, guys, is he's learning to keep the ball in the ballpark. Early days, he got clobbered with home runs. Hasn't given one up to the Braves today. Never has in his career.
That's the amazing thing. Wow, facing this Braves team known for home run power and not giving up a home run.
Only 4 hits allowed for the Braves offense. And this one shot in the air to right field. That's pretty well hit. Garcia going back and shy of the wall, hauls that in. Better swings for Ozuna. Braves out of luck in the 8th. Then head back home tomorrow for a 4-game series with the Phillies. Our first look at Joe Girardi's squad. The Braves were 10-9 against him last year. Our coverage begins at 6:30 Eastern tomorrow on Bally Sports Southeast and the Bally Sports app. Braves baseball, as always, is presented by Truist. Bryce Harper is back in the lineup, not playing defensively. He's got a torn elbow ligament, but he will be ready to go for the Phillies against the Braves tomorrow. Here's Inside the Numbers, our feature presented by your local Atlanta Hyundai dealers. That's the matchup. Zach Wheeler and Tucker Davidson in game 1.
Wheeler has not been as sharp, but his last 2 starts, you're starting to see the Wheeler, kind of like Charlie Morton that you're used to seeing. And Tucker Davidson, the other one of the numbers are skewed a little bit because he had a rough outing one time out of the pen, but last time out in Milwaukee, he was brilliant.
Yeah, he was brilliant. He was exactly what I saw in spring training, getting ahead of hitters, putting them away late. And it was just awesome to see.
So this is a tough assignment for Tyler Thornburg. He hasn't been out there in a while for Atlanta. Thornburg last pitched on May the 10th, 12 days ago. And he'll face Jesus Sanchez in the Miami 8th. Sanchez 0 for 3.
That has to be tough, Jeff, sitting there having pitched for 12 days.
Yeah, from a pitching perspective, you would think so. Try to stay sharp. Although remember, Orlando Arcia didn't hit for like 2 weeks and got 3 hits and a walk-off 2-run homer. So
it has to be tough on a pitcher trying to find the strike zone again. As we see right here, 4 straight pitches.
It's like anything, you can throw all the bullpens you want, but until you get out there in game action, it's just so different.
You see his adrenaline up and trying to overthrow that fastball and missing his spots.
So Brian De La Cruz is the batter. He's 0 for 3. Looking ahead to the Braves' ninth, they'll have the 4, 5, 6 hitters coming up. Darno, Albies, and Riley. Not seeing anybody even playing catch in the Marlins bullpen. So maybe Alcantara is going to try to pick up the complete game. He has 3 of those in his career.
Marlins are what, 5-14 this month right now?
Yep.
Bet you know what, he's going back out there for that 9th inning.
I mean, if I'm Alcantara, I want to go back out there and get my win.
I guarantee you wasn't even talked about in that dugout.
No balls and a strike. If I'm reading the stat sheet correctly, there are a grand total of 5 complete games so far in the major leagues.
I think it'd be different if, we saw him like we did in the 5th inning, struggle in the 8th inning.
Right.
But he's retired the last 8 in a row.
With a season high 7 strikeouts, Thornburg ahead of De La Cruz 0-2. And up and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Thornburg takes care of De La Cruz. That's the first out. As the inning continues, let's step aside for a quick message from Truist.
Jessica was born to care.
That's my best friend. She don't need no.
Miss Hogan's class? It's Atlantis.
Today, she's a teammate at Truist, the bank that starts with care.
Eric Gonzalez got the 7th inning started successfully for the Marlins. A single, a stolen base, and scored the 3rd Miami run. It came against Ian Anderson. Anderson's line 6+ innings, 7 hits, 6 strikeouts, 2 walks, 4 runs. 2 of those 4 runs came after. One of those 4 runs came after he left the game. I thought Ian pitched a terrific ball game today. But 2 leadoff walks were a big problem for him. And on the other side, no real answers for the Braves offense against Sandy Alcantara today.
Yeah, Ian did everything he could to keep that game right where it was, but in the end, Alcantara's been the story today.
You want to look at it this way for Anderson, his last 12 innings pitched for the Braves, he's gotten 1 run of support.
There you go, against Peralta right up in Milwaukee that day. Yep. That was so good.
But he'll have a chance, will Ian, for revenge, we presume, on Friday when Miami comes in. They say that's a tough thing to do too. You face the same club in back-to-back starting assignments. The one advantage for Anderson will be he'll be on his home mound. If indeed the Braves stick with a 5-man rotation. Davidson, Fried, Morton, and Wright in that order starting Monday against the Phillies. The pitch is a little looper. Ozzie on the run. That's going to hang up forever. Gonzalez is retired. And that's the 2nd out. And Jacob Stallings, the catcher, will dig in. Brian made the point last night. Bottom part of the order for Miami was real productive. Peyton Henry and Stallings combined hitting 9th last night to walk 3 times and score once. Today, Jacob has 2 hits, a run, and an RBI.
Thornburg's come back after that walk and had 2 good battles.
Ken Tyler hasn't pitched in nearly 2 weeks in a big league game. After the walk, he's looked pretty sharp. Just 13 pitches to this point. There's that one high to Stallings. 1 ball, no strikes.
We always talk about Stallings' defense, but man, he's come through big today. I don't know if Don can get this production with the bat. Put it all together. You saw his defense. You don't want to steal on him.
Thornburg ready, the 1-0 pitch. That Floats in nicely, even count. That stays high. 2 balls and a strike. On the bottom of your screen, you saw the Valley Bar. The Mets and Rockies are playing this afternoon. Game's in the 5th inning, I believe. No score. A scoreless game in Denver.
It happens every once in a while. Not often.
Usually after you get snowed out 2 days before, right? Which is what happened the other day. That's outside. Ball 3. 3-1 to count. That'll be on our next road trip. That'll be a fun one to pack for. Maybe snow in Denver and then 100+ degrees in Arizona. So,
yeah, that's.
As they tell you, though,
a contrast.
It's a dry heat.
Yes, it is a dry heat.
That's
like
the
110 to 110.
Yeah, that's the worst heat. I'd rather sweat, guys.
I'm with you.
Wait a minute. You like humidity better than the dry heat?
I do. I do.
Stallings another walk. He's on board for the 3rd time today.
I remember my first trip to Arizona. I left the hotel to go get lunch across at the Biltmore. I went halfway across the street and I thought I was on fire. I just turned right back around and went to the hotel. It's like, no way. How do people live here?
I remember my first road trip, Arizona, San Fran. BJ told me to pack a jacket to San Fran.
Yes, I
did. And I thought he was an idiot. So I go to Arizona, it's 120. We get off the plane and I was freezing.
Yes, he was. Had to spend some money on him.
So, Paul, these are some subtle hints. I know on our last trip to New York, you failed to check out our friends at the Weather Channel, the forecast for New York. Make sure you pack appropriately for the upcoming road trip, okay?
I appreciate that, Chip. You know, sometimes I get a little lost with the weather in the early in April and May, and I assume it's summer everywhere. And I found out this year that's not always the case.
Especially in San Francisco, where the old saying is, the coldest winter I ever spent was the summer I spent in San Francisco. 1 ball, no strikes for Dunand, and popped out a play foul.
At least Birdie got a new jacket out of the deal.
Yeah, it looked good, too.
I liked it. Do you know the hottest place in America during the summer?
Cincinnati in August.
Well, that's good. That's close.
Or St. Louis.
It's actually St. Louis and Kansas City.
Yep.
The Midwest. Guys that played in the old Marlins Stadium down here, Joe Robbie and others, said that Kansas City's way hotter.
1 ball, 1 strike. Back toward us. Yeah, Terry Pendleton told me a story about playing in St. Louis on the old artificial turf at Busch 2. He used to put cardboard inserts into his shoes, and it would be so hot that they'd go in after the innings and soak their feet in ammonia, spirits of ammonia water, ice water.
And ice. Yeah, that's what I used to do. I played there.
Yeah, and go out.
It was amazing.
And before the first pitch of the next inning was thrown, their feet were dry.
And you could see the heat waves on the field up in Busch.
Popped out a play foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the broadcast booths were fun back in the day. Everything was concrete. And as the great Casey Stengel once said when they played the first All-Star game in St. Louis, he was asked about the new ballpark in July. He said, boy, it sure holds heat well. And they certainly did. Always used to joke, you know, you think about the dry heat in Arizona. It's so great. Stick your head in the oven when it's 200 degrees, right? And that is not an endorsement to do that. It's merely rhetorical speaking.
Way to cover yourself.
2 balls, 2 strikes with 2 out, 4-1 game. As Thornburg lets her rip. And that's a little high. But come to think of it, if Arizona is a dry heat, why don't they say in Florida it's a wet heat?
You could say that in Atlanta too with the humidity.
Very much so.
Yeah, but it rains more here.
That is true.
First and second. Hearing somebody's glove popping. Not sure if that's the Marlins pen or ours. 3-2 pitch. And he checks the swing, but is rung up, and that will retire the side. Nice job by Tyler Thornburg. Hasn't pitched in almost 2 weeks. Picks up a couple of strikeouts, and we go to the ninth.
Baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. And by the Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day.
Lighthouse on Key Biscayne. Great work by our super photographer Sean Farnham, who's gotten so many beautiful pictures beachfront here in South Florida. Appreciate Sean's hard work. And Sandy Alcantara is going out to try to finish what he started. He's in the ninth inning. He's got a 4-1 lead. Pitch count ought not be a problem for him. As I said, 3 career complete games. This does not happen often in the modern big league game. And if that one's caught, he'll need 2 more outs. Aguilar in foul ground. He's at the edge of the track, and he dropped it. Oh, somebody's going to let him have that. Ronald Acuna Jr. on the top step.
How mad is your pitcher right here?
Well, and I hate to say, that's the whole idea. You mess around sometimes too much, you end up doing that. And if I'm pitching right now,
that should be an error. I don't know if they'll give him one. 0-2 count. And a line drive into left field. That's a base hit. So maybe that's the break the Braves needed. Travis d'Arnaud is on his way to second. He'll slide in safely. And the Braves are in business. All of a sudden, look at that dugout. The Braves on top of the step, on top of the seats, cheering and yelling. They don't think they're out of this game. They're not. 4-1 game, leadoff double after the Aguilar drop. And he's still chirping with Acuna and company at the end of the Braves dugout.
Wow, if I'm Mattingly, I'm pretty angry right now.
You think if I'm the whole team?
Yeah.
I mean,
and how many times we see this? You drop a ball and the next pitch, a double down the line.
Well, there's your opening. Can you walk through it? Ozzie Albies the hitter. Swing, line drive, that's in for a base hit. That's going to score d'Arnaud. Ozzie around first, big turn. He's going to fly to second. Throw is close but late. Back-to-back doubles. Tying runs coming to the plate in the ninth inning. We got a 4-2 game.
And now you get Don's got a tough choice here.
Yeah.
You got a pitcher who's been in complete control and was supposed to have 1 out. And now all of a sudden 4-2.
And the bullpen just started to throw.
Yeah.
So Riley could tie it with 1 swing. Let's string together a few more of these hits. Back-to-back doubles. 4-2 your score. The pitch. Lined out of play, foul. It's funny in this game how one thing can really get you going. You just don't know what that is. Maybe the Aguilar drop will be that tonic for the Braves.
Yeah, they gave that an error.
One pitch. Fly ball. That one hit toward Garcia, but Ozzie should be able to tag up. He's going to. Here comes the throw. It's going to be cut off. And a runner at third with 1 out. And Dansby Swanson's coming up. They stung the ball hard 3 times in a row against Alcantara. We got 2 outs left. We need 2 runs.
Mattingly is pacing. Thinking about what he's going to do. I think he just sat back down.
Well, look, you've got Dansby. Then after that, it's Duvall and Demerit.
See Contreras grabbing a bat.
Swanson struck out his last time up. He lifted a bloop single off Alcantara in the 5th inning to plate the first Atlanta run. We got action in the 9th. What should have been the first out of the inning turns into an error and the first of 2 doubles. And now a 4-2 Braves game.
Wow. Another good changeup down and away.
Painting that thing bottom of the zone.
Yeah.
Dansby down to his last strike. Right up the middle. That'll score a run. And Aguilar dug that out. Heck of a play. Swanson gets the RBI. It's a 4-3 game. Give Dansby RBI number 19. 2 of them today. 4-3 your score, but the Braves down to their last out.
Ball's hit pretty good up the middle, too. But coming into this inning, I can tell you right now, if the Braves would have had a chance for one swing to tie it up, they'd have signed up for it.
And that's a good at bat by Dansby. 0-2 count, shortening up, putting it in play.
Duvall, the final hope to keep the game alive for the Braves, and he takes a strike. Stick around for Braves Live postgame presented by Xfinity. That's coming up next. Lauren Jabbar, Peter Moreland in our Atlanta studios. Braves looking more and more like themselves. A game that was in complete command by Alcantara. They've come back with 2 in the ninth, but now they have 1 strike left.
Alcantara just made a mistake right there.
Yeah, he did.
Kind of caught the ball off guard.
The 0-2 pitch. Popped him up. Who wants it? Stallings in front of the dish. He's got it, and the Marlins eke out a 1-run win. Sandy Alcantara, 115 pitches, a complete game victory. The Marlins salvage game 3, fellas, but the Braves win the series and head home with a 3-3 road trip.
Look, tippy cap. Alcantara was just awesome today, and you knew that coming in. This guy has just dominated the Braves his whole career. But the Braves, good battle in the end. Good start by Anderson also.
Yeah, you know, look, they had a chance. They gave themselves a chance here at the end to tie this ball game up. Just Alcantara was too much. Pitched a great game. Ian, a couple walks that came back to haunt him. But with that being said, you won your first road series of the year, and now you're coming home where you got 7 games in the division where the Braves have done good work.
So the final in Miami today, 4-3. The Marlins beat the Braves. We'll join you again tomorrow night for the first of 4 with the Fightin' Phillies. Join us on Bally Sports Southeast and the Bally Sports app for the Braves and Fightins from beautiful Truist Park. Jeff, BJ, Birdie, enjoyed being with you. We'll see you Monday night. Braves Live presented by Xfinity with Lauren and Peters coming up next. We'll see you Monday night.